Okay, here we are. Good morning. Today we are at Casa Grande Mountain Park, just off of I-8. You can see the interstate right there. And here's the mountain. I'm not sure the name of this mountain. And I don't know anything about this park. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment trip. Decided to come out here. Hopefully we can make it up to those towers. We'll see. So we haven't gone too far at all, and there appears to be a whole network of trails out here. They're not really well marked. The problem is that they're all like this. They're all dry rotted or bleached out by the sun, so you can't really tell which trails we're on. I've looked at the All Trails map, and it doesn't even show this trailhead system on the map at all. So I'll just use Google Maps and just kind of navigate our way that way. But so far I wouldn't call it a trail that I'd come back to unless it changes. It is still pretty early, so we'll give it a chance. All right, we got to the first trail sign that we can actually read. This looks like it's called Sun One Trail. We'll see where it heads up. Looks like it heads up to that ridge up there. The trail we were on, I believe, would have dropped us back down into the valley, maybe around the mountain itself, kind of like a loop. So hopefully this one takes us up more into the mountains. All right, we reached the kind of a first of a small summit area. Pretty cool views. There's Interstate 8. There's the little parking area, trailhead. And what surprised me was apparently you can drive all the way up here unless this forerunner just decided to blaze his own trail. But I think you can probably take this service road back here, it looks like. I don't know if it's private property over there or not, but we're gonna go check it out. Yeah, there he goes. He's heading back down. Had I known that, we would have drove up. All right, we're here where the forerunner was. I guess you can come up that road right there. I don't know if you can see him. Try to zoom in. He's heading down right there. Looks like that service road brings you up. Kind of surprised it's not closed off to the public. And it brings you up to this, looks like it used to be an old campsite. I don't know, probably can't camp here now, but 20 years ago you could have came up here and had a camp out with a great view of beautiful, clean Casa Grande. So we decided to walk down this service road that the forerunner came up on, and I wouldn't recommend coming up this road unless you had a really clipped four-wheel drive. I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if the camera shows, but it's very steep and you definitely need high clearance. But it is possible with the right vehicle. Oh, it's also possible on foot with your best friend. So it doesn't appear we can get to the other side of this. Well, you probably could, but there's no trail that I could find that takes us to the other side. We started over here in the parking lot down there, and we went up this ridge, went back around to the other side, and now we're coming back down here, which brings us almost kind of like a loop to where we started. Maybe we can get up to that ridge or go in between here and cut over to the main towers. We'll see. If we can't, it looks like it'll be about a 3-mile loop all the way around. So it won't be a complete loss if we can't get up there. It'll actually be a kind of a nice day just hiking around Casa Grande. Okay, so after about an hour, hour and a half of hiking, we come to our second readable sign, Fire 3. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare. So apparently we're on the Fire 3 trail now. Just kind of meandering around. I think we're going to hit that tower over there. That's going to become our goal at the moment. So I don't know if my camera will pick it up, but you can see if I zoom in, out there in the distance is Picacho Peak. That mountain right there, I believe, is Nilsen Mountain, if I remember correctly. There's Picacho Peak. There's a state park out there. You can hike to the top of that mountain. That's actually a really cool hike. Pretty technical. Dogs aren't allowed on it, but it's a really fun hike if you're ever in the area. If you've never done it, check it out. Here's a good look at a saguaro. What happens to a saguaro if you've never seen one after it dies? See, the skin is still on this one. It's really dried out. It's almost like plaster of Paris or something. And the skeleton inside, it's wood. I don't know if it's actually a wood or if it's more of a plant fiber, but interesting. There's some type of old ruins out here right next to the highway. Not really sure what they're for or how long they've been there, but kind of neat to come across random things like that from the past that you weren't expecting. I would go check them out, but we're heading up to this peak right here, so probably maybe after we're done we'll drive over here. It looks like you can take the service road or the frontage road from the highway and get over here. Maybe we'll drive over here and check them out. Okay, I have to admit, that was not an easy climb. That was a very steep road. It doesn't really show it on the video, obviously, but whew, that was pretty steep. There's the towers we were trying to get to. Couldn't figure out how to get over there. I believe this trail here goes and follows alongside the mountain in the foothills. And then when I looked at the map, it looks like it comes and cuts back over from the other side. Just too long of a hike today. It's already about 2 o'clock. But we did make it to this one. Obviously they don't service these anymore because there's nothing up there, which is a good thing because I can't imagine driving up that road even with a four-wheel drive. That was a pretty sketchy road. It was sketchy walking up it. You'd probably be risking a lot to drive up it. Well, here it is. Let's check it out. Just gotta watch for rattlesnakes. Going over here, buddy. Not sure what I see over here. Just an old bathroom probably, or an office. Yeah. So they took all the filing cabinets or computers probably that was in here. Not too interesting, but I am glad I came up here to check it out. All right. Vehicles out there in the distance. We're gonna head back down. So here's a much better view of those little ruins by the side of the interstate that we saw earlier. Still not sure what they're for or where they're from, but just to get a better view of them. All right, looks like Rocco's on his way back to the car, so I better go catch up. Okay, we're almost back to the vehicle. There's our 4Runner there, and that was a much better hike than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be quite boring at first, but it ended up being pretty good. So there's the ridge that we saw the 4Runner on, and then we kind of went around the side of the mountain here. Sorry, but the sun's right in that direction, which took us over here. And then out there in the distance is the old decommissioned tower that we climbed before heading back this way. That's about 4 miles Would I come back and do it again? Possibly. If you have a mountain bike, this is actually a really good area for mountain bikes. There's a lot of trails out here for mountain bike. I would probably come back out here again if I was going to go to the other side and do the hike up to the towers. I'd probably do that, but I probably won't come back out to this particular trailhead again unless I was driving through, maybe on my way to camp at Picacho Peak or going to Tucson, and I had a couple hours to spare. I would stop by here maybe and do a little quick hike, but I wouldn't come out here specifically for this hike. Alrighty, that's it. And to give you the stats for this hike, it was just under 4 miles, 3.97, and just under 600 feet of elevation, 593. And now we're back to the vehicle. You ready to go home, Rocco?